Hello, everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about how the electoral map is trending toward the Democrats. Does not mean Republicans can't win in the future. It just means they're going to have to appeal to different voters, and um, that's possible. It's just based on what the trends are showing right now. The electoral map is definitely shifting toward the Democrat victory in many elections to come, probably for the next 10 to 20 years. So we obviously had that 10-year span of Obama. We could have another thing like that, or we could even have an FDR Truman um, long period with that. So I'm just going to go over what I think the electoral map in terms of RCP will be like in 2024, just to show you how insane all these states have shifted um, since 2008, 2012, 2016, even 2004. And it's really definitely gone in favor of the Democrats. So let's take a look. So safe states will be California, Hawaii, and I'll take into account the states that are trending Republican, like Oregon, um, but it's not many compared to the Democrats. Washington, a lot of these East Coast states, New York, Vermont, and Hawaii. Okay, I already picked that. Are all safe Democrat states. It's already 134, and those are already guaranteed to Democrats. And they're also going to get a lot of other states. So now North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho. It is similar. It's the usual Alaska. Um, and that's what I'm going to put it at right now for 2024, actually. I'm actually going to do Indiana as a safe Republican state. 134 to 106. Democrats are an advantage with safe states, and they're going to get a big boost with likely states as well. Illinois is a likely state. New Jersey, Maine's first congressional district. Um, New Mexico, Virginia, I would say are all can be characterized as likely Democrat states. So 2016, Virginia was a toss up. Now it's a likely, as well as New Mexico is a likely. And now we can go to likely Republican. We can do Missouri is a likely Republican. Iowa, so you can see how these things are shifting. Maine, second congressional district. And Ohio. So before you would say, "Oh, Jesus, Ohio and Iowa, those are toss-up states. Obama won them both times. Um, they're toss-up states. Bush won them in 2004. I'm not sure about 2000. I'm not as aware of it. Um, okay, and then here we go, lean Democrat. I'm gonna go with Oregon. We'll lean Democrat, as well as Colorado. You could argue a likely lean scenario. I'll just go with lean because I do think it's a little less prominent than New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada, all states that underestimate Democrats in polls, which I talked about yesterday. You got to keep that in mind, and then obviously the East Coast as well. Um, and I think Minnesota will lean Democrat. It is shifting red. I still think it'll lean in the Democrat. You know what? I'll keep Minnesota out of it for now because I will go with the trend. However, let's take a look at what else we have. Oh, Maine at large will lean Democrat. Um, and I think that's it for now. So 222 to 141. Now we can go with lean Republican states. Would be South Carolina, um, North Carolina, and I think that's it for now. We can go to tilt Democrat states, which will be Texas. It's seriously shifting, and obviously it could definitely change. I mean, these scenarios could definitely change as Republicans have, I think, changed their appeal, or there'd have to be something serious to happen in the country. But Texas is trending blue, as well as Georgia would be tilt Democrat. Minnesota would be tilt Democrat, as well as New Hampshire, Connecticut. 2024, Connecticut's trending blue. You could argue Oregon. I mean, trending red. Just one of the few, like Connecticut, New Jersey, Oregon. Just some of the few blue states that are trending trending red. I think that Michigan will tilt Democrat. I think that Wisconsin will tilt Republican, as well as Pennsylvania. They are trending red. Republicans can pick up those seats, but it's not going to be enough. I also think for the leans would be Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, and that would be a 2024 possible map. And even if you get rid of Minnesota and Michigan and Georgia, you still have a Democrat win. So Democrats are gaining. That's 313. That's not even giving the Democrats everything that they could get. You could give the Democrat. Oh, I also forgot about one state. I'll say that Florida will tilt Republican for the sake of the video. I think that Cubans are will come out for Republican turnout, as well as elderly vote will come out for Republicans. I know that they shift for Joe Biden. I think they're going to shift back for Republicans in 2022, 2024. But it could shift in Joe Biden's favor for this election, which I think could possibly happen. And now I'll do the 2028 map. This is all speculation at this point, but I will do it for you anyway. So safe Democrat states will pretty much stay the same. Likely will now become Arizona and Colorado. And, well, actually, I would say Virginia would become safe at that point. Lean Democrat states, I think, could be Georgia. Texas would still be tilt Democrat. Let's go with likely Republican states. I think that North Carolina will shift likely Republican, as its trends are showing. I also think that Maine at large will be a likely state. I think that Florida could be lean. South Carolina could become a tilt state, as well as Michigan and Minnesota would tilt blue. I think that Oregon could go to tilt blue or tilt red with those states. So, I mean, I guess it would also help the Republicans look like they gain traction here. However, I will also give, I mean, that's what I'll give, actually. Okay. And you could give the Democrats Florida. They could have that. But I'm going to say Republicans will have a lean Florida state in 2028. This is all speculation. Still, Democrats win the election in both scenarios. Obviously, it begins to narrow up. 313 victory for the Democrats in 2024. But the electoral map is definitely shifting towards the Democrats. If you talk about a big win for Democrats in 2024, you could give them Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Montana, literally everything that the Republicans have worked for. If you just look at such of a scenario, this would be a landslide. That the accurate prediction was what I had before, but I would say this would be landslide victory for Democrats. So 446 just electoral votes. You could say South Dakota, Arkansas. No, I'm not going to go that crazy. I'll actually have Montana, but 443 to 95. So things are definitely getting crazy. I'll give the Republicans Missouri and Indiana. But 422, that's a big landslide. That's a landslide victory for the Democrats. And that's the best they can do. And the Republicans can barely match that. Republicans' landslide victory would be low 300 range. So it does show how the electoral map and college is beginning to favor the Democrats more. Also, as well as demographic moves, the electoral count's going to change when 2024 hits. So states are going to have different electoral votes. California may lose one. Texas may gain a few. That's how the shifts are lurking. And as Texas gains electoral votes, it's also shifting blue. So you have to keep all sorts of things in mind. Anyway, this is, I think, what the trends are showing as of now for how the 2024, 2028, just looking way into the future for the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. And obviously, it'll shift back to the Republicans someday. Maybe something could happen, and these won't be what happens in 2028, 2024. And this is just what I think it's going to look like. They're losing supporters. Texas used to be solid states for Republicans, as well as Georgia and Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico used to be true toss-ups. Um, it's just, I feel like it's definitely gotten worse for Republicans. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. This is my idea of how I think the electoral math is going to change. Republicans could still, they could still definitely change the outcome of how this could be in 2024. This is just how I see it right now. My opinion could definitely change. 4 years with politics is, in politics, so much can change. So, um, for Democrats, don't keep your fingers crossed. Obviously, do what you're doing. It looks like you guys are going to gain a lot of electors and electoral votes, but Republicans probably need to start to change the messaging, or or something needs to happen where people think that the Republicans' view is better. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more predictions and analyses, and have a nice day. Goodbye.